G'day mates, Jackaro Toro here, and on this channel I focus on Australian Aborigines, their languages, cultures, history, and so on. And this here is now the third video about kinship terminology in the Ngarla language of the Pilbara region of Western Australia. And now, as you can see on the board, the turn has come to terms for siblings and cousins. And we have many fewer terms than in the previous two videos, many fewer terms to discuss. So perhaps this is more straightforward then. But this is not without complexity and complication, which we will see when we come down here. But we will get to that, because I thought we could start from the top with Juju, older brother. Now, I have written term of up here, and after the hyphens, we then have information about what this is, the term of. Here, Juju is the term of reference and address for younger sister. So term of reference when talking about, and term of address when addressing. And it is the term of address for younger brother, but not in that case the term of reference. Instead, the term of reference is kaja. Terms for sisters, sister and sisters, are over here. Unfortunately, my friend and colleague Brian Gatenbeek was not as careful in all cases to record information about whether a term is a term of reference or address or both. So we don't have that information for all kinship terms. But we will have to make do with what we have here. So, Jodo is older sister. And that's the information I have. And we also have the term nyarumpaji, a term of reference for one's sister when talking to her husband. Yeah, and look, here I forgot the hyphen. Anyway, Margara, no, that should be Margara, is younger sibling, a brother or sister. So we have specific terms for older brother and older sister, but for younger siblings we have the term Margara. Yes, and here in the middle column we also have the term Pinabado, a man's term of address for brother and brother's wife, as it so happens, and woman's term of address for sister and sister's husband. And here we are talking about both real and classified brothers and sisters and their spouses. Yes, so not too many terms here. When it comes to cousins, it perhaps becomes a little more complicated. First of all, we have the distinction that is being made in the kinship systems the systems of social organization in Australia, to be more specific, and in the section and subsection systems between parallel cousins on the one hand and cross cousins on the other. Parallel cousins are those that you are not allowed to marry under any circumstances, and those would be father's brother's children and mother's sister's children, because at an earlier point in history, unclear when, it was figured out that when people have children with parallel cousins, genetic diseases occur, unpleasant genetic diseases. People would not have known that they were genetic, of course, but they saw the cause and the effect. Yes, so parallel cousins are siblings in the section system which the Ngarla tribe has and uses. So it's the cross cousins that are your cousins. So father's sister's children and mother's brother's children. So we have two terms here, Ngabari and Yagu, which mean the same thing. They are both terms of reference for a male's cross cousin. Actually, that should probably be a male cross cousin. Yes, because here we have a corresponding term for female cross cousin, ngoranyo. So that's probably what this is, a male cross cousin. And note the related term, ngabari yara, where yara marks dual. This is a term of reference for two men who are classified as cross cousins. So they don't have to be real cross cousins, they are classified as cross cousins. Yes. Now, let's move to the middle column here. So, there is in Ngara the term milara. These are cousins and second cousins, real ones in this case, not classified ones, but real ones. So blood relatives is a term that is used in English, I believe, for this. Now, down here, it does get more complicated, as I indicated. So, nyugono, a term of reference used by a man when speaking to Yagu, or Yagu's wife, about the spouse. So the other person, the man is speaking to either the Yagu or the Yagu's wife, and he uses nyugono to refer to the other one of the two in that couple. Yes, and also used by a woman when speaking to ngoranyu or ngoranyu's husband about the other one in that couple. So used differently by men and women, but there is a certain amount of logic here, as you can see. But then we have this term here, nyugonogara, where gara, as well as yara, are dual markers in kin terms. So they mark dual. So what is nyugonogara? Well, actually there is a second term here that means the same thing. Ngarla. So a married couple plus a brother or sister of either of them. And they are in a Ngugono relationship. The couple and the brother or sister. So what does this mean? Well, in the section system, these people end up in the group of people that you are allowed to marry, your cross cousins. And in most of Australia, where the section system is used, it was realized that it is perhaps not a good idea that cross cousins get to marry. The section system prohibits parallel cousins from marrying then, but it was realized that perhaps it's not such a good idea that cross cousins marry either, at least not if it happens generation after generation. So marriage rules was put on top of the section system. So while the section system allows cross cousins to marry, marriage rules, which vary from tribe to tribe, were put on top to prevent this. But this was not the case along the coast of Western Australia, where there were no additional marriage rules. They only had the section system. And it is known that cross-cousin marriages were not only possible, they were frequent. So that means that a man would often marry his father's sister's daughter or his mother's brother's daughter. And I think that this is what these two terms imply, that we have a couple, the married couple, that are cross cousins, and a brother or sister to either of them. That's the only way I can make sense of this. Otherwise it doesn't make sense as I see it. But we also, for the Ngarla language, have this term or expression, perhaps. It consists of two words, for which the consultant gave two different explanations. So Nuba Milara. So we had Milara there. Nuba is a person in the group of people that you are allowed to marry. And as we have said, your cross cousins end up in that group. So Nuba Milara, one of the explanations for this term is that these are the people that are considered siblings, which you are not allowed to marry. So that makes sense. The other explanation here that I have written here does not make sense. That Nuba Milara should be, for a man, the real father's sister's daughter, who is too close to marry, according to the consultant. That makes no sense, since there were no marriage rules put on top of the section system, and a father's sister's daughter was in fact one that you were allowed to marry, and such marriages took place frequently, which we can see in some of the kinship terms. And as I indicated, I believe that these two terms indicate just that. So, how to make sense of this explanation, I don't know. No, we will have to leave it at that. But anyway, these are terms for siblings and cousins in Ngarla. This will be all for today. If you've made it this far, why not like this video and consider sending it to someone that you think might be interested. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that I will be back. So, see you later.